So this is probably going to be one of the most important videos I've ever made. And if you can stay and watch it to the end, I truly believe it's going to bless you. And this, I would say, is more so geared towards those who believe in the prophetic spiritual gifts that God has given us, or someone who you believe that God has given you a spiritual gift. Maybe you hear certain things in the spirit, you see certain things in the spirit, and you're dealing with a little bit of trepidation with actually exercising that gift. I'm going to tell you guys a story of something that happened a couple days ago, and I pray that it encourages you and brings you some enlightenment as well. So a couple days ago, I had went to one of my friends. He was DJing at a venue, and I had went with him to the venue. Now, I've not really been going out and like that anymore. Just not my speed anymore. But I wanted to support him, and so I told him I would come out there. I was there maybe 30 minutes into being there. I started to walk around after eating a little burger that was there. When I started to walk around, I started to feel the presence of God, and I began to speak in tongues under my breath. Now, this is in the club venue area. There's nothing churchy going on at all, but I began to feel the presence of God very heavily, and I felt the Spirit of the Lord tell me that it was time for me to leave. So I went to my buddies, told them I'm heading out. I then went outside, and this is where things got really, really interesting. When I walked outside, the breeze hit me a certain kind of way, and I looked up and I saw some birds flying around. And in the very moment that I saw the birds flying around, I heard the Spirit of the Lord speak to me in my spirit, not audibly, but in my spirit, like a perception. I heard him speak that there was something demonic and violent that was about to take place on this street very soon that night. And so I went in my car, got driving, headed home. On the way driving, the Lord began to speak to me again and say for me to reach out to that same friend and let them know what God had just shared with me. I didn't have to go too much into detail, but to let them know. This is what I sent him. I basically said, as you can see right now in this text, that God was showing me some things spiritually, some weird things going on, and I want him to be safe driving home and everything. About 15 minutes or so later, he then sends me a text saying that there was just a fight in the venue. And I was like, wow, that's basically what God was kind of showing me what happened. But for some reason, I felt like there was more. And then I woke up yesterday, or I think a couple of days ago, the day after this happened, and I saw on an Instagram video that there was actually a shooting that happened on that exact same street at that exact same venue that night. And I'm not saying this to say that, I'm some like super spiritual, whatever person. I'm a normal human being, just like all of us. I just try to spend a lot of time in consecration with God. I'm not perfect. I have my mistakes, all of that. But I spend a lot of time in his face and seeking him. And it was crazy to me how the Lord literally showed me all of that was going to happen before it actually happened. And during this situation, there were so many things in me that was trying to keep me from wanting to say that to them, wanting to actually believe that I was really hearing God at that time. But the fact that exactly 15 to 20 minutes after I said that, all those things happened just confirmed, how important it is for those of us who do hear from God that way, prophetically, words of knowledge, things of that nature, to adhere to his call and to take it very seriously when he's speaking to you, because you don't know who you can be giving a warning to. You don't know who you could be being a watchman or an intercessor for, because God does not give us these gifts so that we can, be Marvel characters. He gives us these gifts so that we can encourage, we can warn, and we can inform those who are around us. So I hope this testimony of prophecy brings you some encouragement, some enlightenment, and allows you to see the Lord and your walk with the Lord Jesus Christ in a different way. I'll see you guys around in the next video. Blessings to you.